Hi everyone, this is Ryan from ForzaZone.com and Best of Video Games TV, and we got a very special guest for you today, the lead designer for Forza Motorsport 4, Dan Greenawalt. I'll go and start asking you some questions. I want to ask you, first of all, there are many gamers out there who love Forza, from drifters to artists to racing enthusiasts to collectors. However, there are those who prefer first-person shooters or action games. What is it about Forza 4 that these people should know about?
Well, you know, our vision for Forza is, and we've stated this a lot, is to turn gamers into car lovers and car lovers into gamers. And what I've found is that a lot of people say, well, you know, I'm not really that into cars until we start talking about the first car, the car that they really fell in love with. We find that people actually have a lot of memories around cars, and they actually have a lot of passion for cars. And our hope is the game is getting them to think about cars in a new way. But also the game's really addictive. We take inspiration from, you know, a lot of games. Our team is the nexus of gamers who love gaming and people who have car passion. That's who we are as a team. And so we draw inspiration from great RPGs and other great games around the world to make, not only is it a racing game, but it's a car game that has a lot of addictive game elements.
Top Gear is also integrated in the game. How exactly has Top Gear been implemented in Forza Motorsport 4, like through the career and throughout the rest of the game?
Well, as soon as we shipped Forza 3, we started talking with Top Gear, and it would have been not too difficult to just license their track and be done with it. But we realized very quickly that there was a wonderful creative synergy between what they wanted to do with their show and what we were trying to do with our game. And so we entered into a longer-term creative partnership with them, and that meant really sharing what our goals were and coming up with new ideas. So the game has multiple Top Gear integrations. We have Jeremy Clarkson's voice in Autovista, giving you more context around the cars.
This is a Lexus. I know, doesn't look like one, does it?
We have Top Gear Bowling in the career, and that allows you to use real physics, but drift your car around and knock over giant bowling pins. It's just fun. It's something fun to do with cars. We have the Top Gear Rivals events, which were designed by the Top Gear creative staff to highlight really famous car and track pairings. And then we have Top Gear Soccer. And Top Gear Soccer is like you think. It's a multiplayer mode. It supports 16 player. You can have 8 on a side. There's a big ball in the middle, and there's a goal on either side. And that's just a blast. Just a lot of fun to play.
And, you know, one of the biggest features in Forza 3 was the car design editor. And how has the car design editor improved in Forza Motorsport 4?
Well, first off, we do a profile import from Forza 3 to Forza 4, and so you start the game with some great cars gifted straight into your garage based on your level, but also you can import all of your layer groups from Forza 3 to Forza 4. So some of the great painters from Forza 3 start off with those layer groups already in, and they can already start making great artwork from day one. But there also have been some improvements in the system in general. So we have a better way of finding artwork. You can now search for artwork for cars directly out of your garage and out of the painting area and out of the tuning area. So it makes interacting with things like the storefront much easier, much quicker. And we also have new layer groups that were actually designed by our community. We asked our community of painters to design the primitives that they said would help them paint faster, better, and those are integrated as the first 2 tabs when you come into the livery editor.
Okay, very cool. We're all very excited to get our hands on that. And showing off our rides in the photo mode. Can you tell us more about the photo mode and the new feature Big Shots?
Yeah, so photo mode was something we had in Forza 3, and it allowed you to take shots whether they were from a replay or from on track or even in the career home space. And in this version, we've added more career home spaces to choose from. So there's the Top Gear home space, for example, that's on the test track. There's also a Top Gear home space in the studio, and these provide you with different lighting conditions. But in Forza 3, we also had some pretty aggressive JPEG compression on the shots themselves. We changed that out to go with a much truer compression. Much truer image with a better compression. And then we added Big Shot. And Big Shot is the equivalent of Cinema 4K resolution. So that is an incredibly huge shot. It is great for doing print. And you upload those straight to the website, and you can download them to your PC. You can make prints or Photoshop, edit them, do whatever you like to them. And yeah, I'm really expecting, based on how well-received photo mode was in Forza 3, that this is really going to take off in Forza 4.
Well, that sounds very cool. can't wait to see everyone's designs on there too. And after Forza Motorsport 3's release, your studio released a lot of downloadable content. Can we expect to see the same with Forza Motorsport 4? And if so, what content do you have planned, like cars, tracks?
Well, we've announced that we're going to do 10 cars a month for a while. We haven't put an end date on that yet, because we're basically going to evaluate, market demand and what people are really into. Now, what we found in the past is that we've released tracks, and the tracks were nowhere near as popular as the cars. So we're still evaluating what else we will release on top of cars. We just know that cars are a hit, absolutely. So we'll do 10 cars a month, and even at day one, you can actually buy a season pass, which gets you 6 10-car car packs for a 30% price reduction, plus we throw in an extra 10-car car pack, the American Muscle Car Pack, for free. And that's just based on what we saw in Forza Motorsport 3, that there were a lot of people that were buying all of the packs, so we thought we'd give them, the ability to buy it at a price break.
What kind of new features can we expect when racing online? Like any upgrades made to matchmaking, the storefront, stuff like that?
Well, there have been a lot of changes. Obviously, I already mentioned Top Gear Football, Top Gear Soccer, which is the new modes that allow you to play. And we have 16-player multiplayer, which allows you to play in great racing matches. It also improves things like Cat and Mouse and some of the other great modes we've got. We have Rivals Mode. Rivals Mode is sort of like a blend between our old time trials and multiplayer and leaderboards. I mean, it's just it's a unique mode. It's very addictive. That's something at our team that we play that constantly. And that's got multiple channels, including like passing cars. We even include Rivals Mode in the demo, so people can take a look at that just by downloading the demo for free on Xbox Live. Multiplayer also has new public lobbies. This was a feature we had in Forza Motorsport 2. We didn't have it in 3, and we brought it back for number 4. That, of course, supports 16-player multiplayer as well, and custom lobby names and all the things that people, really enjoyed in Forza Motorsport 1 and 2. Boy, there's a lot of stuff we've added in multiplayer. I feel like I'm missing something. But
well, I've tried the Rivals mode in the demo, and I'm very impressed with it. I've been playing the demo non-stop ever since it released, so I'm very impressed with the game so far. And, many gamers play, Call of Duty and games like that. And when going into racing games, the biggest concern is about aggressive drivers. Have you done anything to prevent aggressive drivers in the online mode?
We haven't done anything specifically. We actually had a fairly powerful tool set that people would do in private matches.
Okay.
And the hoppers were set up to really get you into matches as fast as possible. But if you're really looking to do that kind of advanced play, you can set up your own matches, make them private or make them public. And you can turn off collisions, or you can boot people as a group. There is a voting system, even in hoppers, where you can boot people that are extremely aggressive. But we haven't done anything explicitly like an arbitration or referee system, something like that.
World Tour takes you on an expedition of the world's most elite racing circuits in some of the fastest cars available.
Now, the career mode has changed a lot in Forza 4. Can you tell us what new features you put in Forza 4?
Well, Forza Motorsport in general is all about car passion, and we do great racing, but it's about getting people excited about cars. And so, for us, that's about the cars you love. So even though we have hundreds and hundreds of cars, over 80 manufacturers, it's really not about the numbers, it's about the diversity, so that you can find, no matter where you're from, whatever your age, whatever your background, wherever you're from, you can find cars that really speak to you. And the careers changed to reinforce that. So let's say you do find the 5 cars that you love, and maybe you're from France, I don't know, and you love the Renault 5. Well, you can use a Renault 5 through the career, and it's going to offer up events that feel like they were made for that car. And means that your career and my career, and I drive a BMW M3, they're going to be totally different, because my career is going to be based around the BMW M3. Now, a lot of other things have changed too. We've got a higher level cap, so people aren't going to be hitting the highest level as quickly. In fact, we base it on Forza 3 data, and we base it on our hardest of hardcore players, that the top 1% of players would not have been able to hit this highest level cap of 150 within 18 to 24 months. So we're really trying to build a game that no one can finish, that it's always there, there's always new DLC. We're hopefully just keeping you excited about cars, keeping you engaged in the community, thinking about cars in a new way, and cross-pollinating with other great gamers out there. So the career's changed in a lot of ways, and a lot of those subsystems. So like the level cap, car affinity, we had car leveling in Forza 3, we now have car affinity. That has a 50 level cap and allows you to brag with your player card, with badges from the manufacturer affinity. I mean, there's just a ton of systems in here that have really changed throughout the game.
Sounds like you guys have been working really hard the past couple of years, and we can't wait to try out the career mode as well. And we realize it's a little soon to be looking onwards past Forza 4 at this point, but many gamers in the community want to know if Turn 10 will ever consider the inclusion of practice sessions, qualifying, and pit stops.
We look at all those things. Obviously, ideas aren't the problem. We've got plenty of ideas. This group's been working on this franchise. I've been working on this franchise for nearly 10 years now. Mm-hmm. And it's not an issue of not having ideas. What we do is prioritize against feedback we get from the community, data we get on how people play, and our long-term vision of what we're trying to do to car culture and to gaming culture, bringing those things together and elevating them. And that's how we prioritize our features. So yes, we always consider things, pitting, qualifying, night, wet, you name it. These aren't things that we haven't thought of. It's a matter of having them bubble up to the highest priority versus our vision and versus the data we're getting from the way people are playing. So again, it's not to say it's all gray. I mean, I think it's easy for people to look at things as black and white, in or out, good or bad. That's just not how it is. We push and we push and we push to innovate across the boards. And that means we've got a feature list that is several thousand things long. And a lot of the ideas are good ideas, but we're waiting for the right time. You know, a good idea at the wrong time is the wrong idea. And for us, you know, we have to be the judges of that by what we think is right for the franchise. And, you know, things we'll continue to consider them, and we'll look at what we do in the future.